Lagi wala pang lumalabas na picture dun sa ano. Wait, I'm waiting. Waiting. Ayan, lumabas na. Okay. Let's go na. Sorry, di ako nakapag-live stream. Kasi sa Twitch talaga gawa na sumali ako sa Genshin live stream thing. And then, super lag ng Twitch ko there. So, lalo na din sa animated part, yung na-meet si Dotore. And then, I had to stop the live stream because of that. And yun, na-record ko na lang and posted it here. Anyway, let's go.
Oh, Candace, you're still fighting? You've been out here dealing with these creatures the entire time?
Yes. They just keep coming in waves. I've lost count of how many
Paano
I've
nakakarating yung ano?
Before I realized it, even the
Taga-inazuma
sandstorm
pa
had
yun, di
stopped.
ba?
Here comes another wave!
Leave this round to us. I got interrupted earlier, but now I have something to take my anger out on.
It's been quite a while since I've seen the flame main in action. I'll leave these to you then.
I'll be sure to put on a good show. Let's go!
Okay. Wapak! Dapat kasama din si Dia here.
I will have order.
Mga makukunat.
Just like we rehearsed!
Mga nakakapit ko mga tweet. Nag-travel sila sa ano.
Here comes another wave! When are they ever
Namamangka din sila. Well, pwede naman sila lumutang, di ba? Pero, grabe. Ay, bobo.
The wind knows me.
The creatures stopped appearing. Was that the last of them?
Oh, ang ganda ng paggabi.
What we fought just now was probably the aftermath of the sandstorm. So we should be safe for the time being.
Well fought, everyone. No injuries, I hope.
Mm-hmm.
Huh? Who are you?
Ah, my apologies. I haven't had a chance to greet you yet. I had my hands full taking care of I am the chief of Aru village. Everyone usually calls me Uncle Anpu.
Sir, I am also originally from the desert. But
I can't say they've always been common, but recently the storms have become increasingly severe and frequent.
Mm-hmm.
Besides sandstorms, we also occasionally get earthquakes.
Oh.
According to an investigator who stayed in the village a while ago, these unusual natural phenomena are related to the withering of Irminsul.
Uh-huh.
Another effect of Irminsul's withering. So, Irminsul's withering causes withering zones in the forest, and sandstorms and earthquakes here in the desert?
Everything in the natural world is inextricably connected to Irminsul. These regional symptoms can indeed be a reflection of Irminsul's present state.
Everyone in Aru village needs to take good care of themselves. Speaking of which, why haven't I seen a single village keeper since I got here?
Village keeper? Who are they? Village guards like Candace?
Mm-hmm.
does your curiosity know no bounds? Village Keeper is how Aru village refers to mad scholars, exiled here by the academia. Most of them are scholars who lost their sanity after a period of training in the Avidia forest. The academia believes that their crazed mutterings may have a negative effect on the psyches of other scholars. So, they're forcibly exiled to the desert. Though if you ask me, it's all a boatload of nonsense.
Alas, that's exactly what we've been trying to investigate. One by one, the village keepers have been mysteriously disappearing without a trace. But no one in the village has ever seen them leave. If you're planning to stay around the village for the next few days, I'd appreciate it if you could keep an eye out for them.
I've had encounters with those people in the past. I'll see what I can do to help.
The Matra are the ones responsible for their exile. Now that you're no longer with them, are you trying to alleviate your guilt and atone for your past sins?
Nag-aaway pa ba kayo?
I'm fascinated by how you think.
Mock me if you will, but if you are guilty, I will eliminate you, regardless of my position or identity.
Oh, you're the former General Mahamatra. You must be an expert in these kinds of investigations. Thank you for your help.
I'll help you.
Is it because you're reminded of Hypatia? Oh, these poor scholars. First they lose their sanity, now this! We need to help get them back home, safe and sound. But, is it really a good idea to tag along with Cyno? You seem like you really don't trust him.
Right, it's a great opportunity to watch you.
I'll be grateful for the assistance. No doubt you will do a better job than some of my former subordinates. Let's start by finding a spot to share what we know so far.
Wait lang, I'm so like I saw like the Scaramouche boss. Bakit? Bakit parang pala kayong mga boss, weekly boss ng ano? Again, like, you know. I know that
tastes the same as I remember.
the Valin is the dragon and is
But
huge.
where are
Pero,
those who share the memory?
yung kay Scaramouche, grabe oh. Whee! He can use ano, a Nemo. And then, is that a water? As long as I have Zhongli, it's okay.
Boats are made for transferring commodities back and forth. And those that come across Lior tend to stay a while. So it is where many things come to settle.
Let's go. Hey, Ziad. Oh. Bastos yung batang yun ah. Hindi ko na inaano eh.
Although I've sent myself into exile, I'm still doing essentially the same things as before. Do you still have any questions for me before we start our investigation? One of my former subordinates told me that this title has its origins in a strange incident. The academia has long exiled mad scholars to Aru village. A mysterious phenomenon exists here. When mad scholars first arrive, they are as incoherent and deranged as before. But after spending some time here, they invariably begin to calm down. Initially, the people of Aru village greatly resented having to take in the mad scholars. But a strange incident one night changed that. Aru village was struck by the strongest earthquake in living memory. Seeing buildings on the verge of collapse all around him, the then chief of the village was preparing to take everyone to safety. Suddenly, he noticed a mad scholar crouching in a corner, caressing the ground with his hands. A soft, green light radiated from him, like a divine glow against the backdrop of night. Despite the powerful tremors that ripped through the ground that night, all the houses remained upright, almost as if they had grown roots reaching deep into the ground. In the end, not a single building collapsed, and no one was hurt. After that, the people of Aru village treated the mad scholars with greater kindness, and began to refer to them as the village keepers.
A soft green light? A mad scholar protecting Aru village? What do you make of it, traveler? Paimon thinks so too. Actually, Cyno, do you know if any of the mad scholars continued to wear their Akasha terminals at Aru village?
In theory, they would continue wearing them so the academia could still monitor their activities. With that said, the main Akasha system would no longer have any interaction with them.
Oh, no wonder! Everything makes sense then! Add in the fact that they calmed down, it was probably Nahida who calmed them.
If you are able to draw a conclusion from this one story alone, then it appears you possess much more information than I do. So, what do you make of the story? Really? Lesser Lord Kusanali.
What? You don't believe us? Lesser Lord Kusanali was definitely using the Akasha to give her power
Kaya
to mad scholars.
nakapag-concentrate.
No, it's not so much that I don't believe you.
Because I was helping a
I'm
friend.
just struck by your reasoning. Lesser Lord Kusanali, the current Dendro Archon.
I'm looking, binabasa ko yung mga,
surely active in
messages.
Sumeru. The academia has always placed far greater importance on the late Greater Lord Rukkhadevata.
Sheesh.
They've more or less ignored Lesser Lord Kusanali,
What is
and I've never had any reason to doubt their views. In addition, I've never heard any stories about Lesser Lord Kusanali and her deeds. To me, she might as well have been a god that never existed.
No way! Nahida definitely exists! She's a...
Yes, he said me months not long ago.
She's a good Archon who's kind and wise. Even if she says weird stuff sometimes.
I've spent many years interrogating criminals,
Ay,
so I
shoot,
can easily
ina
tell
naman
when
ni
someone is
Cyno.
lying.
Good! Then you should know that we're telling the truth.
That
And
look
now-
in your eyes. I've never seen that from a liar.
Of course.
You two really must have met Lesser Lord Kusanali. How can this be? To think. Our Archon has been amongst us this entire time.
Alright, now it's our turn to put our skills to good use for this investigation.
You
But
betcha.
easier said than done. Especially since we don't have any leads. Maybe we can start by knocking on some doors.
Excuse me, are you here to help me
Oh,
find my
si
grandpa?
Jayan, di ba?
By the sounds of it, a resident of this village.
My name is Isa.
Ah, this Isak pala eh. Ah, it is
You'll help me find my grandpa, right?
Is your grandpa a mad scholar?
Hey, don't say that. Grandpa is just Grandpa.
Grandpa is
Why do
his
you have to
grandpa.
call him that? It's not like he's a bad person or anything.
Oh,
The person you're referring to is not a local, yet you are. Why do you call him Grandpa?
Grandpa is just Grandpa. He's my family.
oh.
I heard everything you said to the village chief. Please, you gotta take me with you. I want to find my grandpa.
Parang maririnig ko na yung
I swear
boses
I'll
na to.
help. I won't be a nuisance.
Nuisance?
Ah, so you're the one who was eavesdropping on us around the village chief's house. I was planning to go out and take care of whoever it was, but I had a vague feeling that they didn't harbor any ill intent.
Whoa. Ethan wasn't kidding about Matra having sharp senses. Cyno, he's just a kid. All he wants is to find his grandpa. Let's find a way to help.
Sorry, I was only listening in because I wanted to know where Grandpa went. Honest. If you don't believe me, you can ask Miss Candace.
All right. But first, let's confirm the facts with Candace.
Manager po! Saan yung Makalungkot naman tong ano na sound trip na to. Pag to naras na Genshin, lalagay ko to. Pero sa... sa... is...
Cyno is super vigilant. Is this what all the Matra are like?
Ah, you're back already.
Yes.
We just wanted to confirm something with you. Do you know a boy by the name of Isak?
I had a feeling he'd go looking for you.
Huh? You knew this would happen?
Yes. Although he tried his best to stay hidden, I still noticed him eavesdropping outside the window. He really wants to get his grandfather back.
And then... wait.
Isak's parents were both Aramite mercenaries who rarely returned to the village after finding employment in the city. He was raised by his grandfather. Unfortunately, it was only a few years before his grandpa passed away. Isak was still very young at the time, so various families in the village took turns caring for him so he could survive. Later, an elderly mad scholar arrived at the village. Isak thought the scholar bore a striking resemblance to his grandfather, and thus often spied on the man. However, the scholar was unkempt in appearance and incoherent in speech. Although Isak referred to the man as his grandpa, he was afraid and didn't dare to approach him. One summer night, the oft mumbling and bumbling grandpa suddenly calmed down and seemed to become more lucid. He even noticed Isak hiding in the distance. So Grandpa walked up to Isak and patted him on the head. He even took Isak to the entrance of the village, where he patiently taught the boy the names of the stars and accompanied Isak until he fell asleep. The next morning, Isak woke up and wanted to go find his grandpa again, only to realize his grandpa no longer recognized him. However, even so, Grandpa retained his calm expression. It's said that those who saw the scholar claimed he no longer appeared to be crazy, but appeared to be living in his own world, almost as if he were sleepwalking. Isak was thrilled that his grandpa was able to find peace and would follow him all the time, asking him things like, "Grandpa, want me to take you somewhere fun?" Or, "Grandpa, could you tell me stories about the stars again?"
All this somehow just makes Paimon feel really sad. It seems like they both deserve so much better.
Perhaps. Nearly everyone who lives in the desert has some form of hardship or regret. But even so, we must still continue on with our lives. It's also my reason for fighting. I must continue to protect this land.
Maybe the people have always had a considerate God watching over them.
Huh? What did you say, Cyno?
No, nothing. As long as Isak keeps his word and doesn't get in our way, we can take him along.
Perhaps you are more compassionate than I gave you credit for. Please accept my thanks on Isak's behalf, Cyno.
Hey, Isak!
Oh, it's you guys.
We've cleared everything up. Let's go find your grandpa.
Really? Wow, thank you so much. Yeah.
All right. Let's ask the local residents some questions first.
Yo! Dreams, emptiness, and deceptions. Whoa! So which missing village? Think Deseret and the Tree Maggie. Okay, let's go. Hello.
Excuse me, did you happen to see where the missing scholars went?
You mean the village keepers? Oh, let me think. When I was eating dinner the other day, I saw one of them by the side of the road, muttering away and eating mushrooms and tree roots. They shouldn't go around eating that kind of stuff.
Okay. Did you notice anything else?
Anything else? No, I think that's all I have to tell you. Sorry.
As the locals. Oh, what's that? That thing. Sino yun? Ano yun? Grabe. Pupunta ba tayo there? Hello, Shani.
The scholars that have gone missing.
Those eyes. Those fierce eyes. You look like a real fighter.
Don't change the subject.
Right. You were asking about the the mad scholars. I think it's been a few days since I last saw them. I usually go to bed pretty early, so I'm not too familiar with what goes on at night. But honestly, I feel quite sympathetic towards them. Even though they act a little strange, they've helped me in the past. If it weren't for them, my house would have collapsed long ago.
Do you also think Grandpa and the others are good people?
Grandpa? Oh, hello there. It's little Aesop.
Hindi mo napansin si Little
You know
Isaac.
that nice man who looks like your grandpa's long-lost twin, right? He was actually the one who protected my house. I saw it with my own eyes. He happened to be staying near my house that day and was doing something with his hands on the ground. It still feels pretty surreal now that I think back on it. Did someone teach them how to do that? Well, whatever the case, I'll always be thankful to him and whoever taught him to look out for others. I'm pretty sure that if I ever went mad, I wouldn't be able to do anything like that.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory?
Hindi ako makapag-concentrate. Napilitan na palo.
Where do you
Nagla-livestream po
want
ako
to go
kaya tumapag ko
next? Have you
ano.
been to see Leore's
Makapag...
tourist spots? I have a few references.
Sir,
Wait lang.
have you seen
Oh
my
my gosh.
grandpa recently? You know, the one who likes to sit and space out near the village entrance.
Okay, I'm back.
Oh, well, if it isn't Isak. Oh, your grandpa, huh? It's been a while. The last time I saw him, he was pacing out by the road as usual. I went and asked him if he'd like any of the food I had prepared, despite my wife's protests. Like many people, she's really quite terrified of them. And speaking of my wife, she's still always complaining about how I don't make enough mora. That might explain why she's always mad at me.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for taking care of him.
It was nothing. You're looking for him, right? Did he go for a walk and get lost?
Yeah.
That's no good. Well, once you found him, come by my place again and I'll cook a little something for the both of you. I've known you since you were very young. So as far as I'm concerned, you're family. Please feel free to come by anytime.
Wow, what a nice guy!
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Huh? Don't say anything for now. Isa, let's head over there.
Oh, grabe naman. What was that? Una mo na pan si Mr. Cyno. Wait, kausap ba sila?
Listen, see if you can make out what they're saying.
Have you heard? The mighty Scarlet King, the sovereign of our faith, will soon return to this world.
Yes, of course I have. The Scarlet King is the one and only true ruler of this land. I've never believed in any other gods.
Yes, and then...
Still, you say he's coming back, but...
They're making...
It sure doesn't feel like life's
the
about
Scarlet
to change around
King
here anytime soon. What's your proof?
Si Scaramouche. Scaramouche. Oh wait, Scarlet. The name Scarlet is Scarlet. Scarlet. Yeah, it's red. Scarlet King. Oh my gosh. But anyway,
haven't you
feel ko
noticed?
lang.
The village has been getting more deranged scholars than ever. Delavar was saying that many people also went insane just before the fall of the Scarlet King civilization in ancient times. We don't quite know why, but it seems like there's some sort of connection between insanity and the Scarlet King. Isn't it a sign of the Scarlet King's power that all the mad scholars have disappeared? If you ask me, they must have been chosen as the final sacrifice for the Scarlet King's resurrection.
Huh. Now that you say it, that does make some sense. Does this mean our lives are finally going to take a turn for the better?
Exactly. Those city folks will get what's coming to them.
Now, repeat everything you've just said from the very beginning.
Huh?
Who are you? Where did you come from?
Who are you?
My
Sino ka?
patience is running thin. You heard what I asked.
Yeah. Bro, this guy's something else. Just look at his eyes. One wrong move, and he's gonna flay us alive.
Let's not get on his bad side, okay? I am no match for this guy.
Oh, okay, good sir. What is it you would like to know?
Wait, so yung nasa head pala ni Cyno is, ano lang pala yun, hat. Wala, oh my god, ear siya. Kaya pala wala siyang tails.
Tell me about the Scarlet King's resurrection.
Well, I only know a few things from hearsay. I went for a drink the other day and heard others talking about a rumor that the madmen will disappear and that the Scarlet King will return to this land. I'm not making this up. I swear.
Hey, go on. Keep talking.
It's true. It's all true, sir. We desert folk have had more than enough of those people at the academia. They keep sending us all their mad scholars and won't let us have a good life. Would you want to live like this if you were in our place? The radicals were even more thrilled than me when they heard the news. We're all praying for the Scarlet King's speedy return. Delavar also said that once the Scarlet King returns to our side, it's only a matter of time before we conquer the land on the other side of the wall. They're all willing to serve under the Scarlet King and fight for a share of the glory.
Is that so?
Seems like he still wants to know more. Keep talking.
Got it. At first, I told myself it was just the drink talking, but then all the mad scholars vanished without a trace, just as the rumors said. Please don't beat me up just for mentioning these rumors. If I'm guilty, then everyone else around here is also guilty. I'm just saying what the others said.
Oh.
The people here really like the Scarlet King, but dislike the Dendro Archon.
Where is this radical person you talked about?
I haven't run into him over the past few days, so he probably hasn't been around the village. What about you, man? Have you seen him at all?
No, not at all. We wouldn't dare lie to you. He's really not here right now.
Sounds like you're not too close with the radicals.
No, of course not. All we know are their names.
I have many ways to stop you from talking. And so you'd best just stay home and hope I don't hear of you trying to contact anybody. Don't do anything until I've gotten to the bottom of this. Try something foolish, and even Candace won't be able to protect you.
Yes, got it. We'll do just as you say.
That scared Paimon half to death. Cyno is pretty terrifying. He didn't try to reassure us at all. It's like he's used to hearing that. Oh, Paimon bets lots of people have told him that before.
I heard that.
Sorry.
It's part of being a Matra. The rumor we heard just now seems like a strong lead. But we need to check a few more places. Very well.
Isak!
I'm here.
Where's your grandpa's house?
Well, I can take you there. Just follow me.
Ang daming ano sa bibig ko. Yo, Isak! Ay, step follow pala. Follow my lead. Nauna pa ako sa'yo. Bilisan mo. Oh man, nakapabagal batang to.
Grandpa? Oh, he likes to be alone. Sometimes he stares at the sky in a daze, and other times he just pokes at the ground with his fingers. Every now and then, he yells out at the top of his lungs, so a lot of people are really scared of him. But he's a good person, really. I know he is. I swear, he's just like my real grandpa.
Ano batang to? Bakit ba ganyan yung ano mo? Nakakatawa yun.
This is where Grandpa usually stays.
There sure isn't much here.
No.
Incense? Please don't say it's the same one as before. But are you okay? Are you getting dizzy or need to lie down?
There's a scent that you can sense, but I can't.
A certain traveler here once passed out from that smell. Thankfully, Tiguri saved the day. And then he gave us a long lecture to explain all about how it worked.
So, you know Tainari.
Oh my god!
You know him too?
You know,
are you two friends?
ilang beses na ako nakakita ng mga ano nila. Like, magjo-joke si Cyno and then Tanner will get mad. Kasi ang corny-corny ni Cyno.
Yes. Now that I concentrate, I can also make out the scent of incense.
Mahinang nila lang,
Wait,
mahinang pangamoy.
surely Tainari didn't lecture you too.
No. No need. Did you first encounter this scent at Tainari's house? In the forest. From a scholar.
Lalaki dyan. Paano iba yung ano yung pag sila kanila sila parang ayun o dire-diretso lang. Look for motherfucking clues. Where should I look for? Saan ako makakita ng clue? Sir. Malastek.
What are you looking for, Cyno?
Here it is. Take a look right here. Although the traces have been completely buried in the sand, there are footprints here from the size and shape. They belong to an adult male. This pattern is a common one from this area. Local shoes. This was probably someone from the village. The scent is quite faint, but still extant. The footprints head in the direction of the door.
But who would come looking for Grandpa? He doesn't have any friends.
Oh, grabe man. Pinamukha mo pang loner yung grandpa mo.
Huh? So you can lure someone away with just a scent? Hey! What's wrong with liking good food? Everyone's got something they love in life.
Exactly. Most scholars are fond of incense, since the smell supposedly helps them clear their minds and discover new knowledge. Even deep within the clutches of madness, they still yearn for their knowledge-seeking days, and will follow the scent whenever it presents itself.
No, Grandpa.
So someone's taking advantage of their weakness? Huh. Still, why would anyone want to abduct all the scholars? Are the rumors really true? Could the disappearance of all the mad scholars have something to do with the radicals?
It's highly likely.
Please, you have to save my Grandpa. Grandpa's never done anything wrong. Please help him.
Sounds like we'd better help get him back. Don't you worry, Isak. We won't let whoever took him get away with it.
Let's head to Aru Village and inform Candace and the others about what we learned here. After that...
Go back to the village. So, ano tingnan yun? Kaso I have to do this. Ay, bubo. Dito pala. Ah!
Right. The darker fabric definitely looks a lot better. That'd be my choice, too.
We're back, Candace! We've got a lot to tell you.
Ah, welcome back.
Yes, please.
Sounds like everyone's friends already.
Oh, Dia's here too!
Hello!
You bet. So, everything goes smoothly?
Reasonably.
Alhaitham didn't go with you?
We haven't seen him at all.
Huh. I saw him around the village entrance earlier and figured he was investigating with you. I guess he must have gone off on his own.
Did you find out anything useful?
Well.
I see. So someone used a kind of incense to lead the exiled scholars away from the village.
The resurrection of the Scarlet King? First I've heard of it. Far as I know, the kind of incense you just mentioned is only popular
Oh
beyond
my
the wall.
gosh, may tumitingin sa atin.
Scholars are
Pero
fond
kalay
of
ba
it,
nila
but
marinig
as
yun?
you can see, there aren't many scholars still studying around these parts. No seller would be able to make a profit here. Not to mention, making incense is a labor-intensive process. You won't see anybody in the desert with the patience to make or sell something that requires that kind of effort. It seems someone from beyond the wall must have been supporting this.
Makes sense.
So what should we do then? Do we go back to the academia and search for leads there?
If it was any other day, that would be your next logical step. But today, you've got me on your team, so you get an extra tip. Didn't you say that the villager got his news from the tavern? Well, I also like to drink at the tavern, so I know a thing or two about these radicals he mentioned.
If Paimon remembers correctly, the leader of the radicals is some guy called Delavar.
Ah, yeah. Delavar, the scar-riddled bandit, Enger, the wide-eyed butcher, and Jabari, the duck-tailed bearded crook. The whole...
Labindod ko agad.
These guys have one thing in common, and that's being broke. The rougher life gets, the more they want to believe in the Scarlet King. Way they see it, the Scarlet King's resurrection is their only chance at overthrowing the academia. Throwing all of Sumeru into chaos is the only way to change the way of life here in the desert. Anyway, that's my guess why they've chosen to become radicals.
Tia! You're amazing! You really know this place inside and out!
No merc can
Wait,
afford to slack
wait,
off on gathering
ba? Di
intelligence.
naman ah.
Every more I've spent in the tavern has been a valuable investment.
Sisinungaling lang sila.
Now hold on, you're staying right here, Cyno.
Why?
Aru Village is not a big place. Outsiders stand out here like a sore thumb. I'd bet word about you has already gotten out. The desert is unforgiving, so the way of life here is also a lot tougher than on the outside of the wall. You survive on making connections out here. Compared to you, mercs like me are just third-rate amateurs. I've got no actual fighting skills to speak of. But that also makes it a whole lot easier for me to gain the locals' trust. I need to go around and ask some questions, but it'll be difficult if you're with me. Good, then we've got a plan. The Traveler and Paimon will go to Caravan Rebot with me, and we'll try our best to figure out where the mad scholars have been taken. Cyno, you'll have to stay in the village and continue investigating on your own.
Sheesh!
Sounds like a plan!
Nasa labas ka! Fuck! Tangin ang nagmamakar yun. Yo, they're talking. They're talking. So, somewhere. Ang dami kailangan tapusan lagi. Hindi pa rin. Believe talaga ako sa win na 100% agad yung map eh. Touch some grass.
Well, here we are again!
Sounds like you're starting to get familiar with the area.
Of course.
I'm amazed every time we see the wall of Samiel. How can a wall this tall even exist? It's almost unreal.
I know what you mean. I had the same question every time I walked this way when I was a kid. Also, why is this high wall here? And can a wall really block sandstorms? It was only after I grew up that I realized the wall of Samiel isn't just there to keep out the sandstorms. It serves a more important purpose, keeping out people like us. Sumeru is run by wise and mighty sages. To them, us desert dwellers are nothing but tools that can be used and discarded at their whim.
Ouch,
We're cheap
Shane.
labor, like livestock, but easier to control. Nothing more. Even if a child from the desert got the chance to obtain an Akasha terminal, almost all their requests for knowledge would be denied. The academia believes we're underserving. Geniuses like Sataria are 1 in a million. The other children never get a single chance to try and rewrite their fate, even though the academia knows very well that we're humans. just as they are.
That's terrible.
I would tear down this wall with my own hands if I could.
Hey, Dia. You're not thinking about doing anything scary, are you?
No, not at all. This place just gets me thinking, that's all. Besides, we're here to procure information, aren't we?
Yep, we gotta catch those.
Shh. Caravan Rebot is crawling with people, so be careful what you say. We don't want anyone to find out what we're here for. Our mission started the moment we arrived here. Let's go check out the tavern. Maybe we'll find someone I know. Just our luck. None of them are here today.
You mean you don't see anyone you know?
Dia, is that you?
Oh,
What a
oh,
coincidence.
it's you.
You here for a drink too?
Oh, it's you, my
Zaki.
friend.
Finally, a friendly face.
Oh, and who do you have with you here?
A
Guests
friend of
from
mine.
another land?
We're friend. Hello, nice to meet you.
Hello, hello. I'm Zaki. Dia's, how would you put it? Drinking buddy?
We've had drinks together a few times. You could say we go back a ways. Anyway, as far as my friends here, they aren't too shabby, are they? You rarely see any Outlanders so friendly and respectful nowadays.
Absolutely. Much better than those people on the other side of the wall. So, Dia, are you looking for someone?
Yeah. Have you seen Edgar, Delavar, or Jabari recently?
Of course I have. Matter of fact, we were all here drinking together just a few days ago.
I've got a spice trading deal from another nation. I thought maybe Delavar and his friends might be interested. Know where I could find him?
Ah, how thoughtful of you. Then I assume you also know that Delavar's been having a hard time making ends meet these days, so you came here to help him out?
Hey, keep it down. Let's just say I prefer to keep this deal a secret. Y'all at Caravan Rebot are like family. If there's more to be made, why not do it together? Besides, Delavar and his friends have muscle. They'd be a good fit for escorting the goods.
Yes, how considerate of you. Delavar's my friend too, so of course I can take you to him. Come with me.
Go to place Zaki mentioned though. Where is the what? I hope it's not far away. Yan. Tama yan. It's not far away. It's... Oh! Thanks. Oh. Oh my gosh.
Are we there yet?
Oh my gosh, if you're going to fight us, no.
Yep.
You're fighting.
This place is practically deserted. What are they doing in a place like this?
If you're going to fight us, no. You better not.
Why don't you take a guess? Go on. A wild stab
Fuck,
in the
you
dark.
don't know. You don't know anything.
You're like lambs
I
to the slaughter.
fight a lot. A dragon. A god. A motherfucking... Oh my gosh, obviously an ambush.
What's this all about, Zaki?
Come on, Dia. You really think we didn't hear about what you said back in Aru village? The boys have kept a close eye on you from the moment you set foot there. Not only do I know that you're looking for Delavar, I also know that you've teamed up with people from the academia to look for the missing scholars.
So, you've been watching us from the very beginning?
Akala ko naman, alam mo, Dea. Oh my gosh, kasi na-wink-wink ka.
Cyno behind was a mistake.
And
You left the strongest one in the village, didn't ya? Who do you think you are? You really thought we'd fall for your little business deal nonsense?
So you and Delavar have been partners all along.
Dia, I guess it's only natural for a traveling mercenary like you to be out of the loop. Those of us who hang around the tavern have stronger bonds than you think. But you got one thing right. We're all looking forward to an uprising in Sumeru. There's nothing more we'd like to see than the desert folk overthrowing the academia.
If that's the case, then I'm sure Delavar wouldn't miss a second of it.
I'll be honest with you. If it weren't for what you said in the village, your little monologue about the Wall of Samio would have convinced me that you're one of us.
Delavar. And Enger. You're here too, huh?
Enger.
Long time no see, Miss Mercenary. You should have known the traitor.
Why? Bakit kaya yung buses mo para kang lasing?
Dia, I thought that you, a fellow desert dweller, would understand that the Scarlet King is greater than the Dendro Archon.
Yeah, gee, what a missed opportunity. Adopting radical views and kidnapping innocent scholars, all because of some baseless rumors. Anything else I'm missing out on?
See? There you have it. Mercenaries are just a bunch of faithless scum with only one thing on their minds. Mora. Pathetic. You're all like a pack of street rats.
You're not wrong. Mercenaries are driven by Mora, and my faith lies with whoever's paying me. As long as there's a profit to be made, anyone can become my friend.
Enough talking! Get him!
Come on! Roar!
Just as I expected. Let's teach him a lesson, traveler.
Where are you guys?
Following
What?
order, new
What?
punching. One with nature.
This is order.
What? Putay ganyan yan. What? No! Ay, huli.
How could you?
Grabe, nakazuhat zongli lang kayo. Paya ganun.
I'm guessing your
Oh my gosh.
informant told you that I'm just an incompetent merc with no real fighting skills, correct? I mean, that is what I said after all. And of course, you would believe everything he reported. The only thing you know about me is that I'm a mercenary, but you've never seen me in action. Even though you heard we went to handle monsters together, you believed that Candace was the only one doing all the real fighting. That so-called Flame Mane is just a fraud. She admitted it herself. She just uses her connections to gain the trust of others. That's what you thought, right?
You lied in the village because you figured that we'd have people watching you.
And you were stupid enough to fall for it. I figured as much the first time we drank together. You all thought you were so smart. Pathetic.
Ouch.
Okay, that should be all of them.
Whoa! So you've been planning this since we were in Aru Village?
Oh.
No task can be done without preparation. I just happened to notice a couple suspicious
ano
looking
niya
people
talaga,
while you
pansin
were
niya
out
talaga.
investigating.
Oh, but instead of catching them right away, you let them report back.
Those two who were snooping around were just a couple small fries. If we want to get the real catch, we have to be patient and give it some time.
Oh, you mean the funny name she mentioned back in Uncle Ampu's house? The wide-eyed butcher, scar-riddled bandit,
That's just a bunch of drunk talk. Enger and Delavar like to talk themselves up when they're drinking. Enger, the wide-eyed butcher, and Delavar, the scar-riddled bandit, are the nicknames they came up with for themselves. Alcohol has a way of making people share what they really think. So Enger and Delavar are always rambling in the tavern about how the Scarlet King is a superior deity.
What about Zaki?
He's just a numbskull who fell right into our trap. Zaki was probably the best hidden of them all. My initial plan was to find Delavar first, and then try to track him down.
Let me stretch.
That's what you wanted to ask when we were at Uncle Anpu's house, right? Jabari is one of the villagers you talked to. You know, the one who wanted to treat Isak and his grandpa to some food.
Wait, so he's a radical too?
No, he isn't. I just needed to tack on a random villager name to make the eavesdropper think that I was making some wild guesses based on my impressions.
Wow! What a genius idea! Well, that's an expert mercenary for ya.
Ah, you're too kind. It was straight from the usual playbook, if I'm honest.
So, that thing you were saying before, is it really true?
Hmm? About what?
About how mercenaries only care about Mora, and that anyone's a friend as long as there's a profit.
Does that bother you? What makes you so sure?
Dia, do you dislike the Dendro Archon like the other desert folk?
You two are pretty sharp. No, I don't have anything against the Dendro Archon. I've heard a lot of nice things about the Lesser Lord from Dunyarzad. I can understand her devotion and gratitude. Dunyarzad's just an ordinary person. There's no way a god would be so involved in the lives of everyday people, unless they were truly compassionate. I've begun to realize that the sages are behind everything that's happened recently. The radicals' blind belief in the Scarlet King, making the Dendro Archon out to be an enemy. It's all the academia's trickery. But I see through it all. And unlike them, I can never be hostile towards anyone who's never done anything wrong.
Dia.
Anyway, looks like we're done with business here. Traveler, lend me a hand. Let's tie him up and bring him to the village. This should be all of them. I'll let you take it from here.
All right. I'll be in touch. Until then, please stand by.
Candace, do you need any help?
Candace will be okay on her own. I trust her, so you can too. She's been guarding Aru Village for quite some time now. If anyone is qualified to question the offenders, it's her.
While I'm questioning them, why don't you pass some time by exploring the area?
I'll meet you back here tomorrow morning, Traveler.
Oh, thanks. Let me explore. Wait, let me check something.
As for these idiots, let's just hope they live to see another day.
Wait till the next morning. Ilang nagmamotor yan! Dito pa umano parang bubo. Ano kaya yun? Breeze. Anong batang to lang ginawa? Umikot. Magpa-araw, gabi.
Join the Aramites and embrace a wonderful new life.
Ayun, tabi commercial. Meron kasi dumating na parcel ko. Anyways, let's go na. Tignan natin ang 12. Tung, tung, tung. What? Okay.
When I don't have much to keep me occupied, old thought patterns start to creep back in and... as soon as
Wait
I
lang,
start
otak.
talking
Eh,
about
bakit
it,
nawala yung
the
Fix.
flashbacks start.
Fix pala, hayop. Wait, fix pala. Yeah, woman. Today,
Hey, Dia!
Right on time. We'll know any moment now.
Paimon's been wondering. You seem to know Candace pretty well. Have you been friends for a long time?
We've known each other for some time now. She's a pretty interesting person. Even though she's an extremely strong warrior, she never misuses her powers against others.
Oh, Paimon knows what you mean. Like a lot of martial artists say, never take the fight outside the ring.
Yep, I guess you can put it that way. It takes strong convictions to be as dedicated as she is, and shoulder that kind of responsibility. Us mercs, on the other hand, we pretty much live from one day to the next.
Well, Paimon thinks you're great, too.
Really? Thanks for that.
Oh, Cyno's here, and he's pretty early, too.
Yes. I was here yesterday to help out a little.
To help out? By doing what?
Sharing some interrogation techniques.
Oh, you mean you taught Candace some more persuasive methods?
Right.
Come on in, everyone.
Come on, let's go inside.
Okay, let's go.
Candace, where? Whoa, you look furious.
Do I? Huh. What gave it away?
Oh, there's no mask that can hide true bloodlust. Cover up your eyes, and it'll still show itself at the corners of your mouth.
Perhaps I need to work on my composure. Still, it's perfectly understandable why I'm angry.
Why?
I'm sure everyone present would agree.
Yes, ma'am.
Please, don't feed us anymore. We're gonna die.
Well, looks like Cyno taught her well.
You fear death yourselves, yet you do not hesitate to place the lives of others at risk. The absurdity is mind-boggling. The ones you call mad scholars are known to us as the Village Keepers. They are vital members of our community, and some even count them as family. You come here, to my village, and you treat my people as nothing more than stepping stones towards your goal. Tell me, what would you do to you in my position?
Mercy! Please have mercy!
You've made your bed.
We may both be desert dwellers, but there is one thing that I understand better than you. The people of our village care little about which god is in power. Life may be tough and tiring, but we wish to preserve our way of life. A war would only cause us to lose all that we have. And that is not a responsibility that you can afford to shoulder.
We understand. We're sorry. I'll tell you everything I know. Please, just let us go.
I'm listening.
You might not believe this, but it wasn't us who came up with this idea. Someone was spreading rumors in the tavern. That's how we ended up hearing about the Scarlet King's resurrection. Some mystery man told us that mad scholars will make the perfect sacrifice to usher in the Scarlet King's resurrection. They give their lives, and we can get anything we wish for.
They're called Village Keepers. Slip up again, and you'll regret it.
Yes, sorry. It was all that mystery man's doing. He told us to spread word about the Scarlet King's resurrection and talked us into helping him. And I'm not sure.
That's one.
Huh? One what?
Strike. You get a total of 3. Then, you die by my hand.
I'm telling the truth. We don't know anything. It was all him.
2.
He got us to lure them out of their houses in the night with some kind of incense. We take them to a junction outside the village. Then the mystery guy takes them from there. You gotta believe me, please. I'm telling the truth, I swear. Just ask them if you don't believe me.
And then...
That was indeed the truth. Traveler, go on.
Oh, should I go now?
You have to believe me. If I knew that, I would have told you his name right away. I'm not risking another beating to keep his secrets. No, that guy, he wears a cloak, and he's always careful to cover his face.
He calls himself the Scarlet King.
He calls himself the Scarlet King's envoy.
I believe I may know what's going on.
Uncle Anpu.
Shoo!
Smooth.
Okay, speak.
If my suspicions are correct, this mystery man they speak of could be from the academia. Some time ago, people from the academia attempted to take the village keepers away. I refused, insisting that they are part of our community. It strikes me now that this secretive character shares the same goal they had.
Which means it's highly likely that the academia was purposely spreading a false rumor to trick the radicals into delivering the village keepers right into their hands. They were the ones who brought them here to begin with. Now they're trying—
Not the academia again.
Just as I thought. But what could they want with the village keepers?
People are nothing but tools in the eyes of the academia.
Yeah,
A change in their plans likely means they found another way to exploit the scholars. Regardless, our top priority now is locating the village keepers.
You're right. Isak is still waiting for news on his grandpa.
Time to go. Let's leave the village and try to track them down.
Yes. Pack up and get ready to leave.
You got it. Candace, I'll let you deal with the radicals. Leave everything outside the village to us.
All right.
Let's meet back here once everyone's ready.
I'm a pull for Venti. Ang dami ko na palang DPS. I have Aya Tostim. and then Raiden's team, and then I have Ito's team. But I'm only using Hutaw. Kasi, wala lang, I'm comfortable kay Hutaw. Doon malalakas rin naman yung iba. Because my Hutaw's team have Zhongli in it. I love Zhongli so much. I'll never replace him. Oh, hate him.
Let's get some food in us and
My
then
Habibi.
Whoa!
Oh!
Where did you come from?
Well, as you can see, I am merely sitting here and reviewing what we have deduced thus far.
You were gone for ages, and now you're suddenly sitting here musing to yourself? Where have you been Hey, what's with the silence?
You never think things through before asking questions. I'm giving you some time to make up for that.
Ang suplado naman na lalaki.
Paimon's so mad! Paimon's gonna give you an ugly nickname! Never mind. Paimon's got nothing. There's just nothing super obvious to pick with this guy. It makes it so hard.
Well, you've heard nothing to suggest I left this whole time. So clearly, I stayed in the village to investigate. Anyway, you plan to leave Aru Village and keep searching for the truth of this matter, yes?
Yep. We're not gonna find out anything more by staying here, so we thought that we might as well take the search elsewhere.
Why? That's fine.
Enough with the silent treatment!
No. I'm just surprised that you decided to team up with him.
But like that the
Oh, Hatham, you haven't helped us out at all ever since we arrived at Aru Village. Bold of you to question our choices.
Yeah, you're all talk.
While you were investigating, I had my own work to do, which I've now finished.
Really? Paimon doesn't believe you.
To be honest, we aren't really a team, so I have no obligation to inform you of my whereabouts. Not to mention that going separate ways allowed me to find some important information that you all had missed.
Huh? Right here in the village?
Correct.
What did you learn?
I'm going to take you to someone. But before that, you need to understand where she's coming from.
What does that mean?
How do you think the residents of Aru Village feel about what we're doing? In other words, do you truly believe every single word the villagers tell us?
You mean some of them lied to us?
Hiding the truth does not necessarily equate to lying. Again, these people have their reasons. Remember what Gandis said? Most people in Aru Village don't necessarily care which deity is in charge of Sumeru. That's because whether the Scarlet King or the Dendro Archon has power is of little significance to them. By contrast, the perils of their daily lives are ever-present concerns. They won't simply share everything they know with you without good reason. That's why you believed there was no further information to be found in this village. Glad you're following along. Among those you have talked to, there's someone who was consciously keeping you out of the loop. In fact, she's been observing your every move since you arrived. The reason being, to someone who only wants to live their life in peace, any external factors introduce unpredictability into the equation.
Those eyes. Those fierce eyes. You look like a real fighter.
Don't change the subject.
It's quite obvious that she's intimidated by Cyno's authority and strength.
Right. You were asking about the Mad Scholars.
She corrected herself mid-sentence because she's aware that there are Scarlet King fanatics in the village. If she sounds too friendly towards the village keepers, she could easily make herself the radicals' next target.
I think it's been a few days since I last saw them. I usually go to bed pretty early, so I'm not too familiar with what goes on at night.
Remember? She made a point of denying her involvement in anything that occurs at night.
But honestly, I feel quite sympathetic towards them. Even though they act a little strange, they've helped me in the past. If it weren't for them...
After speaking to the village chief, it became clear that the village keepers had protected Aru Village at night. In other words, the young miss was very much awake during that time.
Then, why would she lie?
By
Napansin
getting
kaya ni
involved
Cyno
with an
nag-lie
outsider,
siya.
she
Wait,
risks
hindi ko
drawing
maalala
unwanted
yun eh.
attention to herself. As for why she might be so wary about all this, maybe you should ask her.
I'll pass on this one. You said that she is afraid of me. If so, it's best if I stay out of this.
We're on it!
Okay, let's go. Oh shit. Lagi may motor na dumarating. Oops. Gising to. I'm sure of it.
Miss Shawnee, as we discussed earlier, I've brought someone with me.
Mr. Alhaitham, I'm aware of where you stand, but how can I make sure that your friends think the same as you?
Pang friendly na mukha ni Paimon.
What do you mean? We need to clarify our stance or something?
Go ahead and talk to her. You'll get the answers you want. Go on. Earn her trust.
Is it really that simple?
May I call you Traveler? Hi, Traveler. I want to ask you something. Do you think the resurrection of the Scarlet King can truly change Sumeru for the better?
No.
Why's that? That's very similar to what Miss Candace says. I know you two are friends. That's why I'm willing to talk to you, even though I do have some reservations. Before, I wouldn't even have the courage to ask something like this. Traveler, do you believe our lives will get better?
I can't answer that.
Yeah! We came here from another nation, so it isn't wrong of you to be weary. And we aren't really residents of any one nation. But even so, we've met lots of people from different places, and we've always fought for what we believed in. We have friends in Sumeru, and we want to help them. That's why we decided to stay here for a while.
I want to trust you. My apologies for posing my questions like that. To be honest, I didn't expect you to come back for more information.
Alhaitham told us you have your reasons. It's okay. We understand.
The fact is that only one side of my family is desert folk. I don't really fit in anywhere in Sumeru. Some believe in the Dendro Archon, while others believe in the Scarlet King. I don't belong to either side. And neither side would want me.
Speaking of which, the radicals mentioned that they despise traitors. Do they just think that anyone who's different from them is a traitor?
Yeah. Some people can be so narrow-minded when it comes to bloodline and beliefs. Slowly, I just stopped talking to people. I pretended not to hear or see anything. All I want is to live my life in peace. And then it happened. The village keepers who had helped me disappeared with no explanation, and I didn't dare breathe a word about it to anyone. Until now.
You can tell them. I'm sure she'll keep your secret.
All right. I'll tell you what I told Alhaitham. I actually have a sharper sense of hearing than most. Sometimes, I hear strange crying sounds in the night.
There are ghosts?
Perhaps. I'm not sure. It's faint, but it's definitely the sound of crying. It comes from far away in the distance, and always carries very raw emotion. It used to be louder and more frequent, but ever since you arrived in the village, it doesn't seem to happen as often, and when it does, it's much quieter. I have to focus really hard to make it out.
I confirmed this with the guards on night duty. They also have someone with a good ear, and he's heard similar sounds at night. But, because we're in the middle of a desert, he would rather believe that they are the cries of beasts than ghosts.
There's really nothing around these parts, except for an old hospital not far from the village.
I think they used to use it for treating Elazar, but it's been abandoned for years.
Yeah, let's go!
Puta, nag-mute nga pa ako. Kasi may mga tambay-sabi. Nagigay nila. Naririnig sila dito. Yeah, wait. Fuck. Ang layo, kagi. Let's teleport here. Oh, it's Scarab. That's Scarab. Scarab yun. Ito. Scarab to. Scarab to. Scarab. Review natin sila. Wala ka panahon para makipag-away. Wait. So, daan ako dito para to. Okay. Kailangan ko duman sa main road. Oh shit. Ang ingay mo. Hindi mo nakakatawa yung ginagawa. Hindi naman nakakatawa yun eh. Putang ina.
Solidify!
Into the wind!
Ay, puta. Meet lang ako.
One with nature.
I will have order.
Into the wind. Falling lights. Adorn my night.
Dad, higher, higher, hands on fire. Go. Phew.
One with nature.
Gather!
Go. Phew.
Jackpot.
Follow the wind. Time to go. Time to go.
Wow. Nag-reaction ko. Nagamit pa ako eh. Lungkot naman ang lugar na to. Wait.
Into the wind.
Ay, puta. Namatay. Namatay na ako. Namatay. Ang kunat talaga ng mga sumerol.
Jackpot.
Hindi ako matamaan. Hindi dapat ako matamaan. Wala akong shield.
I will have order. Stabilize.
Into the wind.
Just like we rehearsed.
Ba, hina pa ni ano ko lane. Hindi mo kasi siya pinapalevel up.
This is order. Gather.
One with nature.
They were easier to deal with than Paimon had expected. Super strong bandits? Or monsters taller than buildings dropping out of the sky? Or... He looks super serious. We gotta stay on our A game too.
This is the one. Let's go in and take a look.
Hey, we haven't found squat. Are you sure we aren't wasting our time here?
Patience. Shawnee says she only hears the crying at night. We have time to burn. Until then, I'm taking a break.
And just like that, he sits down. Wait, he even brought a book to read? What are you reading? Let Paimon see.
May I see it? Ito ata yun.
Okay, sure.
Huh? The natural position,
Which is the position
positional propensity of an entity in natural motion in contrast with an object in forced motion? Huh? When free from external influences, every entity displays the tendency to follow its natural trajectory.
So, you got that?
No.
Oh, Paimon gives up. You keep reading your book. See ya.
Maski ako, hindi ko gets
So
eh.
relaxed. Look at him, reading an impossible book in a creepy place like this.
Yeah, it would kill you to read a book once in a while, Gator. Maybe it's time to spread your wings and become learned.
Hey, what good is that gonna do for you? You're acting like one of those annoying grown-ups who go around nagging people to focus on their studies. Hey, what gives? Shouldn't you be the one providing for Paimon? Oh, right. Okay then. Thank you for working so hard and earning so much more.
It worked
If it
for
weren't
you.
for you, Paimon would probably still be floating around in the ocean somewhere. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, welcome. It's so cute.
Paimon's getting so sleepy. Huh? What was that sound?
There it is. It's coming from that direction.
Is the sound coming from here? Huh. Paimon's not seeing anything.
It's
yeah.
from below.
But there's no way we can get down there.
Natin sirain, di ba?
Something is off about the interior here.
Pinabuksan lang ng pala yun. Wow.
As I thought, there's a hidden structure.
Wow. It's like they tucked another hospital into this
Rinig na
one.
rinig yung nasa labas
Oh,
namin.
it looks like there are other mechanisms around here. Let's keep exploring.
Namatay yata si Kazuha dun. Ay, hindi. Shoo.
Time to go.
Let's gather materials. And then...
Solidify!
We scrub. Ah. Whoa. That's... Whoa. It's just a whoa. Gagi pre. Hindi naman ako takot dito. Kasi...
Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory?
Into the wind!
Baka muna dun. Hindi nila ako kaya akyatin dito. What? Kaya kayo kaya mo ko akyatin? Hindi mo ko kaya akyatin, dahil. Come here. Rawr.
Stabilize! Fallen leaves, adorn my night! The wind knows me.
See? Higher, hands on fire!
Wait, taliwas na pala to sa ano ko. Mali. Hindi pala dito ang investigations. Bibalik tayo dito. Mali ko ba? Akala ko dito. How am I going to go back there? Ikot na tayo. Uy, dami naman ano dito. Meron dito. And then meron dito. Ay, puta.
Solidify!
One with nature!
Yawa. Pero pala siya nakatulog. Hindi ko alam.
As one with wind and cloud! The wind knows me.
Sabi ko tuloy dito. Wow. Oh my gosh, mali na yung pinupuntahan ko. Balik na tayo dito. Okay, let's go back. Oops, wala. Ay, no, this one. Ay. Putak te. Ang investigate pala ay tamaan.
Into the wind.
I will have order.
The other one is asan yung isa? Wala dito. Adora one. Oh, but there. Kunat nito ah.
Gather! One with nature!
Right this on the side!
Kunat 72 lang kayo pero so far kunat ninyo man. Ay 92 lang pala.
The wind knows.
Order guide you.
Sure. Yeah. Sana lang din yung naririnig yung boses to kapatid ko kumakanta siya. Wee. Wee. Oh. The patient's Abbas male, 22 years old, moved in the lesson. Whoa. That's... Whoa. Old base.
Look! There's someone over there! Good idea. Let's approach him slowly without alarming him.
Oh.
Wait,
kilala mo siya?
You're...
He can't speak, and his... Also, why is he the only one here?
Didn't expect to see him.
You know him?
He's Razak, a senior of mine at the academia.
He's a scholar too? Is he the kind that holes up in a forest and mumbles stuff about training?
No. And that's the problem. Razak was never involved in any of those things. He never trained in the forest, let alone reach Satyavada life. Leaving that question aside for the moment, him being here alone means that we might be too late. Looks like they've already taken everyone away. For whatever reason, they left Razak here. Perhaps they simply didn't have time to come back for him. There are drag marks on the ground. They're clearer by the doorway. Someone was forcefully drawing a cart that was loaded with something heavy.
Loaded with people?
That is one possibility. It looks like they were in a hurry, as if they were afraid of being caught. In their haste, they failed to notice Razak hiding in a corner. The symptoms are identical. Looks like...
Huh? What?
Allow me to jog your memory. Recall your... Don't you think his symptoms look familiar?
Ako kahit ako hindi ko naalala eh. Oh, yeah. Yung animation wala.
Oh, now that you mention it, they're acting the same way.
Correct. The academia is behind all of it. It isn't difficult to deduce their rationale. First, the academia spread a false rumor of the Scarlet King's resurrection, emphasizing the role of the village keepers, the mad scholars who were exiled to Aru village. These rumors were all the persuasion that the radicals needed, and those based in Aru village leapt into action. Unbeknownst to them, of course, through rounding up the scholars, they were actually helping the academia. As well as being able to exploit the radicals for their own ends, this scheme has one further advantage to the academia. All the life for the desert dwellers has been brutal ever since the Scarlet King's death all those years ago. Beneath the surface, feelings of desperation are widespread. Many would give everything they have for the prospect of something better. Anyone looking to exploit that for their own ends simply needs to make a few empty promises. Even if complications arise, people will see that those involved are all followers of the Scarlet King and look for no further explanation than differences. The notion of an academia plot wouldn't even cross their minds. It may seem like a simple strategy, but it is able to work wonders under Sumeru's current circumstances.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. It's in line with the village chief's theory, too. But there's still one very important question. Wasn't it the academia that brought the scholars to Aru Village in the first place?
Throughout this process, one thing has changed. The scholars' identity. First, they were scholars. Then, they became lunatics. After that, they were exiles. And finally, they become missing persons. An exile is still patently a living, breathing human being. But when someone becomes a missing person, that is brought into question. If you can't find someone, you have no way of knowing what exactly happened to them. That makes missing people an ideal resource.
Resource?
One possibility is that the information in their brains could be extracted into knowledge capsules.
Extracted? You mean canned knowledge comes from people's brains?
With the technology of the Sumeru Academia, it's entirely possible. Perhaps the process caused them great suffering, which is why they cry out in the dead of night when no one is watching them.
So, the human brain... Nope, nah, Paimon doesn't want to think about this.
I'm the Academia scribe, after all. I'm familiar with their project. Anyway, judging by Razak's state, the contents of a divine knowledge capsule were extracted from his mind. But something went wrong in the process. Or perhaps his curiosity got the better of him, and he used such a capsule for himself.
Paimon's a little confused. Can they just use anyone's brain?
Utak ko.
The look on your face tells me you've realized the answer. That's right. To some scholars, gaining knowledge about the gods is their entire life's pursuit. Extracting canned knowledge is just one of the extreme measures they turn to. However, I can't help but wonder, what do they seek to gain from divine knowledge? The Academia is going out of their way to look for forbidden knowledge, but what is their ultimate goal? I've spent quite some time trying to analyze the contents of the divine knowledge capsule, but to no avail. It seems like my way of thinking is too different from theirs.
You mean you're not even slightly interested in getting your hands on this forbidden stuff?
All scholars seek to expand the horizons of knowledge, but I'm not particularly interested in gods, so I don't share their degree of zealotry. Extracting information from people as if they were lifeless objects? If this is the direction of academic progress, then the Academia may as well shut its doors.
Sounds like you're really against all this.
Of course. The Academia's actions run contrary to their rules. Whether it be academics or knowledge, everything has its boundaries. If those lines are crossed, the rules and order that govern everything in the world will be destroyed. This matter needs to be corrected, just like fixing a typo in a book.
Wait, didn't you step in to help because you felt sympathy for those poor people?
Not to be callous, but no. My criteria are a little more restrictive than that. There is no shortage of suffering in Sumeru, and the same can be said for the rest of Teyvat as well. What do you plan to do about that? Save every last person?
Probably not. Paimon's not sure.
You can say that. Simply put, I don't blindly place my faith into strength or heroism. I do what I want. The divine knowledge capsule is something I want to investigate in full. That doesn't mean I'm willing to take action for the sake of a few strangers.
Paimon's been wanting to say this for a while. There are a lot of bad guys in the Academia, but you're not one of them.
You're
their weirdo.
You're probably... Though I must say, I quite enjoy this feeling of being the odd one out. Uniqueness is also an asset, is it not?
Wow, great way to think about it. Paimon's really impressed. If only Miss Shani had a similar mindset, her life would definitely be a lot easier.
I'm just a more likable person than her in general. There's...
Okay, nababasa ko na kasi, so kailangan ko na Yun, malapit na mag 2 hours. Hanggang 2 hours lang tayo dapat dito.
He won't last long if we leave him here. Let's take him with us. We'll work out our next step after we return to Aru Village.
Yes. Return to our village. Ano ba akong kailangan dito? Is that all? May mga ano pa eh. Avin. Arbalization. Meron na namang motor na dumadaan.
We're back!
You must be tired. You should rest and take some water.
What's the situation?
Unfortunately, somebody who's too young to take on the role of Isak's grandfather. Nevertheless, he's one of the people we're trying to find.
So, at one point in time, the abandoned Elazar Hospital served as the Academia's site for extracting divine cant knowledge.
Yep, pretty much.
Their plan must have been implemented at some point before we arrived at Aru Village, since divine cant knowledge has been in circulation for a while now. Yet, they fled once we were headed to the village, almost as if they knew we were on their trail. Why is that?
Yeah, why is that?
We may have a mole in our midst. One of us could be secretly revealing our whereabouts to the Academia.
Huh? Are our friendships that shallow?
Looks like none of you have realized wherein lies the issue. Cyno, you're the reason why they can predict our movements.
Wait, what's that supposed to mean?
Choose your next words very carefully.
It is simply a logical inference. I have my reasons.
So what you're saying is... Cyno's the mole. Interesting. And here I thought you were the most suspicious one, Alhaitham, since you were always acting alone.
I know. You have a point. But I realized something as we were returning from the hospital. Cyno isn't like any of us.
What are you trying to say?
Do you still remember who you are, General Mahamatra? As a Matra, you are no doubt privy to certain kinds of information. Before you can take action against someone, you are required to have all the facts available, including the less than savory details. Simply put, the Academia has traditionally allowed you access to a wealth of sensitive information. Knowing their modus operandi, wouldn't you expect them to take precautions against you? If you want to raise a vicious wolf, you need to make sure that you can avoid its bite.
The Academia is monitoring me?
It's not that simple. The Academia has eyes all over Sumeru, but they have a special protocol for dealing with you. Every so often comes a Nyagarbaha Day. On this day, the Academia enters new information into the Akasha through knowledge capsules. I remember seeing a thick notebook next to the control panel once. Its contents were all about the General Mahamatra, his activities throughout the day, preferred methods of enacting judgment, everything.
You're saying that the Academia entered my information into the Akasha too?
Sure.
But what's the point in doing that? My actions aren't important enough to be added into the Akasha.
The Akasha is capable of computation.
The
The Akasha's algorithms are entirely capable of predicting your movements using the data entered. When you would depart, the route you would follow, your destination. It knew all of this.
It predicted my every move.
The Academia has been watching you longer than you think.
So that's how it is. Cyno adheres to his principles so strongly that he's actually a thorn in their side. Tenacity of will and steadfast faith are worthless to the Academia. They need scholars who are easily pliable and mindlessly go after anything they can profit from. Cyno, don't take it to heart. This just proves how much of a trustworthy ally you are.
They escaped because of me.
Don't blame yourself. It's not like any of us would have known.
I have an idea. If they predicted my movements, then I might be able to guess where they went.
Whoa, you bounced back fast.
There is always an opportunity for safety after danger passes.
Oh, so that's how it is! Paimon gets it now. If the Academia is trying to avoid Cyno, then the safest place would be... Yep, that's right!
They'll want to proceed in the direction opposite of where I'm going. I must go.
There's also something I want to investigate.
Let's go, guys! After...
Please, wait! I want to go too!
No, it's not for kids.
You want to go too? If so, you have to promise you'll stay safe.
I want to find Grandpa. I promise I'll be careful and not cause any trouble.
Tapos naging hostage ka, no?
I leave him in your hands.
Yay! Let's go!
Pinadala pa rin.
Remember to pack some food with you. Paimon feels like we're missing someone, though.
Follow Cyno. So bye, Candace. Thanks. Bye, Tito Antu. Yo. So I think dito na magtatapos ang ating live stream kasi 5 minutes na lang. So sa 5 minutes na yan, magpupul tayo kay Venti kasi kailangan ko si Venti para kay Aya to. Oh, climb all. Wow, jumpy dumpty party popper. Fish blasting companion. Wait. Oh, I haven't done the event. Kasi ano. Kasi live stream ko rin yun. Kasi we're going to meet Mika. Yeah, after this one. So, probably by Monday. No, wala ko ng Monday. Tuesday. And, meron pa namang left, ilang days pa ba left yan. So, meron pa time 15 days. Kaya yan. Oh my god, may moment of synergy na. I see. Synergy. Moment of synergy. Synergy. Paano ba bisa? May moment of synergy na. Okay. Let's, oh, no, I don't think that. Okay. I'll go with Dono. Doon tayo sa Archon. Sa ano niyan, 20. Saan ba pwede? 20. Saan ba pwede mag-wish gift? Oh yeah, this one. Sa Sumero, wala pa ako mapag-wishan dun eh. Kailangan yung tatalon ako. Tapos papatayin ko siya. Oh, wrong.
Into the wind.
Okay, change tayo sa team ni Ayat. Tapos siya may lead. Tadadadun, tadadadun. Ayat to. Deploy. Punta natin. Ganyu. Wow, ganyu.
As per our contract.
Okay, let's go.
Diana special!
The wind knows me. Cheer! Clouds high. The birds come.
No touching!
Napahinto ko, pre. Pusa ko gumagano'n. Kinabahan ako. Ayun na. No touchy, no touchy. And then...
Mind the deluge. Cascade.
Boosh. Totoo. Ayaw kasi gumabastos. Oy, let's go, pre. Okay. Labaro yan. No. Oh my god. Ay, nako. Hindi pa rin talaga. Ayaw pa rin ako pagbigyan ng universe. Okay siya daw po. Anyways, thanks for watching. See you tomorrow again. At baka matatapos na rin naman yung yung Arcot quest.